Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Adventures of the Broken Retired. I'm Don. I'll be hosting today's video along with my buddy Elmer, the Reckless Remote. We're going to try to entertain you, try to provide some light for your day, shall we say. Thank you so much for all the subscriptions. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you think you got a friend or somebody you know that might like this. And of course, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you know when the new videos come out and you don't miss anything that you might want to see, or you don't have to go digging for it. It's free. It just makes your life easier. Good suggestion. Couple things to talk about today. First of all, other than Elmer's cooperation, this camera stand that I got from my stepdaughter has been a valuable piece. It's made my life much easier. I was able to change positions in the office, get a little bit more room to work with, move away from the camera. But one thing it has done is it has rendered this obsolete. You know what this is? This is my original cardboard camera stand that I had made because I had nothing to put the camera on. And here's another one. Sits flat on the desk. Lean the camera up against it. Having this new camera stand, I don't need these anymore. My office is phenomenally cluttered. I think we're going to sign off on the cardboard camera stands. They provided weeks or days of faithful service, and I greatly appreciate their attendance and contribution to the Adventures of the Broken Retired. But now it's time for them to retire, to move on, and let the camera stand take the place. See you guys later. All right, to the story at hand. You know, I'm tired today, and I have a lot to do, and I had a busy day yesterday, and I got a lot to do today. But this story has been on my mind, and I hadn't thought about it in a long time, and I was afraid I was going to forget it. So I decided, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and do this right now. So, back when I was a kid, I was probably, I don't think I was driving yet. So I'm 13, 14, 15 years old, somewhere's around in there. You know, we all hung out in my dad's garage. And I had a buddy named Gordy, still do. I've mentioned him before. Gordy is a good guy. Gordy's house had a basement, by the way. And down in his basement, he had a huge HO train set that you could run 4 trains independently, and you could run one in the freight yard. It was nice. It was set up on plywood. We spent a lot of, kids, there's one difference between kids up north and kids down south. Kids up north have a lot more indoor toys, car race tracks, train sets, that kind of thing, because half the year you can't do much outside. So Gordy had a nice train set down there. Gordy also had a nice 10-speed bike, real nice 10-speed bike. And now I got a little sidetrack here. 10 speeds became a craze back in the, I guess, early 70s. They became a craze. Everybody had to have a 10-speed bike, And one of the options on the more expensive ones was it had quickie lock axle locks on the wheels, so that when you took your bicycle, when you got done riding it, and you were going to put it on top of the roof rack that you had standing up on the roof rack, you could just flip that quickie lock and the front wheel would come off. And we never moved our bikes on the front. We never had any use for that. But if you were a cool kid, you had quickie lock wheels, and Gordy had quickie lock wheels. And we left his house one day, and I think he probably still blames me for this. I didn't do it. We left his house one day and got about a couple 100 feet down the road, and there was, I don't know what the reason was, but Gordy decided he was going to do a little wheelie. And what he did, evidently I didn't do it. Evidently somebody had unlocked that quickie lock, or it came unlocked some kind of way. And the front wheel came off. And the forks on the bike then went straight down and dug into the asphalt and pitched him over the handlebars and onto the road. He didn't get hurt. Where you're a kid. I think you made of rubber when you're a kid. I didn't do that, Gordy. I didn't flip that thing. Anyway, kids. You kid. It's funny. It's funny when it ain't funny when you get hurt, but it's funny when somebody else does. Excuse me. Better. Anyway, the point behind this story is not the 10-speed bike. We're all going to. I'm out in my dad's garage working on a little Bultaco that I had, doing the paint work on it, painting the gas tank, painting the gas tank. I think the gas tank was probably all there was to paint on that thing. The fenders were no. I think the back fender was fiberglass. So either way, I'm over there working on the bike, and Gordy comes over, and he's got this really nice windbreaker jacket. It's a kind of a light blue color, and it says Plymouth right here, and it's got the racing stripe. He's all proud of his new jacket, and he should be, because it was really nice, and I was extremely jealous. And it was a nice jacket, it really was. So we're out in the garage and we're talking, and my dad had this toolbox. It wasn't actually a toolbox. I'm not sure exactly what it was, because the drawers were only like an inch or an inch and a half deep. The box is about probably 18 by 18 by maybe 24 or 20 deep. And the drawers are shallow, but we used it for a toolbox. And because it wasn't designed to be a toolbox, whenever you pulled out, you put a bunch of wrenches in there, and the drawers get heavy. So when you pull the drawer out and let go of it, it would set down. It would drop down a little bit with the weight of the tools. So I'm over there working on the bike, and Gordy's over there with me, and he's looking for something in the toolbox, and he hears this noise. He pulls the drawer open and lets it go, and he hears this noise. Shh. And he's like, "Hey, what's that noise? What's that noise? Do you hear that noise? What's that noise?" Well, when he pulled the drawer open and set it down, I had been painting my Bultaco, and the paint cans were underneath the drawer, and the weight of the drawer pressed the knobs on the paint cans that just so happened to be facing directly towards him. So he's getting hit by a black and a primer gray, can of spray paint all over his jacket. Can't see it happening because the drawer is covering it up. And he's turning like this to see if he can figure out what that noise is, which is spreading the paint all over the jacket. And it was a brand new jacket, and it was a really nice jacket. And he was heartbroken, and I don't blame him. I still have that toolbox, and I told this story one day, and I think somebody tried to call BS on me. And so I went outside and I showed him the box, and I happened to look at the bottom of that drawer. I wish I could show it to you now, but I don't have any editing capability, so I can't. But on the bottom of that drawer, there's two kind of V shapes of paint. One primer gray and one black, where Gordy's nice new Plymouth jacket got spray painted the first time he wore it over to my dad's house. Gordy, love you, brother. Still see him. Last time I was up there, I saw him. We were only up there for a few days. Didn't get much time to spend with him, but got to stop in and say hello. Amy had never been up there. There's some great stories really about taking Amy up there. One in particular, where we're out in the Bristol Hills, or the hills on the east side of the lake, and she got a little nervous. I'll have to tell that one day too, but I have to get permission from her first to tell that one, because it's kind of we'll see what happens. Anyhow, thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you have friends who might like these videos. I appreciate everybody so much. It's just incredible. And please don't forget to hit that notifications bell so when a new video comes out, you'll be made aware, and you don't have to go digging looking for it. Thank you very much. Elmer, old trusty Elmer, is going to be signing off for us, so get us out of here, Elmer. Get us out of here, Elmer.